Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to COASTER-net Update. We've got some breaking news out of San Antonio, where SeaWorld San Antonio has just announced a few new rides for both their dry park and Aquatica. So, Danny, what we have here is we have a collection. First, it is indeed a turtle-based area, a new
Turtle Reef. I think they're going to be calling it.
They're calling it Turtle Reef. This is not Turtle Trek though, so they are not doing a Turtle Trek ride, which I'm very happy about because you know how I feel about that one. But they are doing 2 flat rides and a brand new turtle aquarium that looks really nice. And the 2 flat rides are pretty interesting. That we have the first one here. Kind of looks like a modern day troika, doesn't it? It's
like instead of being on the actual round or the rounded arms, they're kind of out on pendulum arms, and then they kind of they're individually locked to the center axis as opposed to being on one big, and it doesn't look like it tilts either. It looks like the arms go up individually. So it looks like a modern version of the troika, as you said. I think that's kind of the best way to describe it. And then what looks to be a smaller type pendulum rides, what is it called? Silos or Cyclos at Kentucky Kingdom, the smaller pendulum ride. That's what it reminds me of.
So the modern day troika is called Riptide Rescue. The pendulum's called Sea Swinger, but it is a smaller. We don't know if it goes all the way upside down. That would be because
the one at Kentucky Kingdom does or not. It looks like it's like almost that exact one.
Yeah, the one at Martin's Fantasy Island does go all the way upside down, which is actually kind of cool.
Now is that the Mind Warp?
Yes.
Yeah, the Mind Warp is real interesting. I'm looking at the one here at Kentucky Kingdom. I'm watching a video of it now, so we can.
So I think in general, this is a pretty good addition to San Antonio. San Antonio needs more rides. It just feels real light when you go in there. Like they have a nice, a couple of coasters, a couple of shows to see. And then it kind of just falls apart real quick, with all their stuff. So adding this new turtle area, I think the turtle area looks really great. They make it a point to say these are all going to be rescued turtles that can't go back into the wild, which is really cool. And then you have these 2 new flat rides that are going to give people something else to do at the park. They really don't have a whole lot of flat rides at San Antonio either. So
no, they definitely don't.
Rides.
Yeah, they definitely don't. The Kentucky Kingdom one does go all the way around.
Okay, it does.
Yeah, it's called Cyclos. So if this is the same model, then in theory it would go all the way around. I'm not sure who makes that. I'm sure someone has already commented below that it goes upside down and who makes it and the model name and what year it was built and all that nonsense. But it looks really cool. The Turtle Trek at SeaWorld Orlando. This sort of seems like it's an expansion of that idea without actually having Turtle Trek.
Thankfully.
Yeah, well, we were just down there last weekend, and the rescue turtles, as you mentioned, they'll be turtles that have been labeled as by the U.S. government as non-releasable, or ones that are rehabbing until they are deemed releasable. I think they said at Orlando that they have 6 currently, all of which have been deemed non-releasable. The one's missing a lower part of its jaw, one's missing part of the shell, one's missing a flipper. All things like that. So that's kind of the cool. Again, they're getting more into the conservation side of things, and they're really
selling it correctly.
And they're really, really stressing that. And again, the rescue, they did the rescue coaster with Wavebreaker, and now they're doing another rescue themed ride. So it's nice to see that seems to have been working for them a little bit here. So that we always got the lip service about the conservation and the rescue aspect of things, and they've been hammering that home a little bit better, I think, just in the public eye and across social media the last couple years here. And the SeaWorld and Busch Parks have turned things around a little bit the past 6 months or so, it seems. So, and San Antonio and San Diego really are both parks that you and I feel all the SeaWorld parks need more rides. But San Antonio in particular, I think really needs some good flat rides. So these will be good additions here. Get a new
And
section
then,
of the park and
I
ties
think it's
into the
also,
rumor we talked about earlier this week where the wood coaster would be located in a turtle
well,
area.
yeah. So you have the wood coaster that could possibly be building, going in or starting, the teaser campaign for next year. We don't quite know for sure, but that's what it seems like. I also think it's interesting that we also see both Busch Gardens Williamsburg and now SeaWorld San Antonio making a point to also add things into their water park in the same year. So here in Aquatica, we're getting an iHoo's Breakaway Falls, their drop slides that we've seen at countless other parks. But I think it's interesting that they're making a point to invest in both the dry side and the wet side that we also saw done in Williamsburg. That some seasons they chose to just, invest in one of the two. So here we're seeing investments on both sides.
Yeah, and it's real funny. The last several years we've seen Cedar Fair up, and we've seen Busch Gardens and SeaWorld parks continue to go down, and now there's sort of a reversal of fortunes here. We see Cedar Fair kind of down and looking to maybe take a few rides out, and the SeaWorld parks are on the up and up, and the attendance is going up, it seems, and it looks like they're putting rides in all of their parks. Pretty consistently too, it seems, over the next couple years at least. So this is good news if you're a Busch Gardens and SeaWorld fan, because get a couple flat rides, a new area of the park this year at San Antonio, and then like we talked about earlier this week, maybe getting that wood coaster that was in that PowerPoint that supposedly was given to investors. So maybe looking at a second addition to this new area of the park a year later down the road, which would be kind of cool. So supporting that rumor just a little bit more that we talked about earlier in the week here with this news.
So as always, we will keep you updated on all the latest news and developments. Some late season announcements still coming in, and we got Hershey coming up next week. So
and we still haven't heard anything from San Diego, have we?
No, well, not officially yet. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. So as always, I'm Andy Robarchek from Chicago, Illinois.
Danny Miller from Binghamton, New York.
Right on, right, Warriors.
See you guys. Thanks.